On today's Minute of the Apes, we're going to figure out how to get rid of Todd's family so that he can buy more lightsabers.
Yeah!
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! The divine bomb. The only good human is a dead human! Where there is fire, there is smoke.
The minute of the apes. 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 Yay!
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd, and yes, it's true. I did mention, hey, I think I just need to get rid of my wife and daughter so I can buy more Star Wars junk.
So dark.
We're looking at my wall of geek collectible shit and telling Sean I have one of the old master replica remakes of Luke's lightsaber hilt and made of the original stuff. And I was like, it's so expensive.
Is that
and
Luke or is that his father's lightsaber?
Well, we're going to call that Luke's hero.
Okay,
one.
all right.
I love those kind of collectibles. They're just so damn expensive. And, when you have a wife and daughter that are using your money too, it's like,
How
I'm
dare
sorry,
they?
you guys got to go.
gotta
I
kick
need
in.
more junk. That's one of the things I liked, by the way, in the documentary of the guy we're going to interview. I did like seeing those people that collect the stuff and how much, and that goes into what Sean does with the online auctions and things like that. I love seeing that those costumes are still out there.
Right.
I never really think about Planet of the Apes people buying that paraphernalia. I love that. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
With that aside, I'm not killing anybody. I promise.
Yeah. All right.
Minute 55. Sean tells what's going on.
All right, we start minute 55 with Mutants still fucking marching and ends with McDonald running the old CSI routine on a branch.
All right. Here we come. Minute 55. Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
I only heard about it this morning. Your squirrel is missing. He must have been out looking for it. How is Cornelius? Hurt. He's badly hurt.
As minute 55, we have a village worth of apes and humans, plus a ghost city's worth of radioactive people, and we still haven't found Ricky.
So our minute shows us mutants marching through the desert, car breaking down, Culp looking about.
Was that car breaking down, or was it a car that was already broken down outside? Because the back window was busted out, and I feel like they were scavenging that car.
Okay, so and also the visuals, then we cut to the forest, apes walking through, and McDonald finds the fire and the broken branch. Those are the visuals that you get. So let's start with, is that a broken down car?
I think they're scavenging it, because all the windows are busted out on it. But then again...
But he's getting out of it.
Okay,
though.
so there's the station wagon,
Yeah,
right, that
the
we saw in the
shaggin'
shot.
wagon, yeah.
This car was not in the
In
prior
the-
shot
yeah.
of them leaving the city.
Okay. But
So-
why would that car just be arbitrarily in the middle of the desert?
And
Did somebody make a jailbreak from Mutant City?
Try and get into the city at some point, and that's why it's there. But yeah, it's a surprise car. The back window is smashed.
Maybe he's trying to.
But the fact that he's
hotwire
getting
it.
out of the car suggests that.
Because it's not in line with the other cars.
But the fact that he's getting out of the car suggests that it broke down while he was on his way. Now, I will say this: there was supposed to be the scene was supposed to have a broken down vehicle.
Okay.
And Culp was supposed to be upset over the fact that the vehicle broke down. Let me see where.
Well, and okay, that would work too. Then when we get to this,
because there's no
shot
smoke or
of
anything coming
Culp
out of it.
basically at about 11 seconds, where he's looking about and something's bothering him. That would make sense what they're attempting to do. But to Sean's point, I agree. It needs a little steam or smoke to
If
say
they're
this
gonna
is
say
broken
that.
down.
Yeah. Now the sun beats down on Culp's forces as they move out over the desert. We hear the loud racket of motors, but the stuttering and missing is worse than before. One of the vehicles pulls off the sand-covered road, chuffs to a stop. The column pauses. Camera moves to medium to long shot. The captain walks up to Culp's Jeep, shakes his head. Culp says a few words sharply to him. The captain gives a parody of a salute, shuffles back down the line toward the stalled vehicle. We see the mutants abandon their vehicle and pile into another one.
And that's the one thing that bothers me in this. So if this is a broken down car, as the script seems to imply it is, was there only one dude driving this car?
Right.
What is that car for? What we should see are people going from it, and taking weapons
Parts.
from it, and
Right.
trying to get
Yeah.
onto another thing.
Not opening up the hood, looking inside.
Yeah.
Like, what,
Right.
Like, what is it? Oh,
I would almost rather, instead of getting out of the car and doing that, I'd rather see the thing open with smoke coming out of it and people taking shit
Right.
from it to pile in, and then you could have that shot of Culp, and it would imply that he's like disgusted by the ineptitude of these people.
Culp is staring into the sun. Behind, we see another vehicle or two broken down. Culp is beside himself with anger. He looks ahead, squinting. So, we were supposed to see this kind of ragtag army just begin to slowly fall apart as they
Right.
get further and further into the desert. We really just get one shot of one car that seems to have broken down.
Right.
But we can't even tell if it was part of their convoy to begin with.
I like the idea that, when we talk about the smashed rear window, I do, if this is a car that they've already used and now it's broken down, I like the fact that the window would be smashed out. I find it a little funny that we could be blown up by an atomic bomb, but windows in cars would last to begin with. I like this idea of things that are beaten and tattered are being used for this army. However, then you get all this kind of stuff where you don't even go to the basics of the storytelling, and it's
We have Culp standing on top of the vehicle, kind of just a shot of him as he kind of turns and looks around. We don't see anything else around him at all.
don't you feel like it should cut in tight on him too?
He's
like
supposed to be surveying or something, but we don't see anything around him.
I got a real Michael Dukakis vibe off that. When
Yeah,
he was
I could
riding in
see
the
that,
tank.
yeah.
And then we have a shot of the school bus with the mutants kind of walking beside the school bus. It just feels like I would have liked to have seen what else was shot for this, in order to assemble this footage together, because it feels like they just caught some moments and then the editor's trying to put it together to make it look like they're moving.
Let's talk about their army and what we've seen. We've seen them welding things. But it seems like it's been on axles and things. I know you're not going to reveal in the typical thing where you're going to take this army into this situation. You don't reveal the gun in the trunk of Breaking Bad until the very end when that thing needs to pop up and blow everybody away. Mm-hmm. We've all seen Breaking Bad, right? I didn't just ruin anything for anybody. You don't show that, but you also do show that you
The
buy
elements of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
you bought the supplies. You're working on something. I would have liked to have seen in this school bus that maybe they were putting steel reinforcements over the windows, but the windows still could come down. So maybe they have guns that they could do it. What the fuck's the school bus for?
To carry more people? I don't
Because
know.
I look in here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people inside, and then there are 1, 2, 3,
All
4,
walking.
5, 6 walking beside
One
it.
is actually
Yeah.
holding on to the bus.
Yes,
It's to make it look like the army's larger. They've got their
It is.
25 extras plus some people driving some vehicles. They're trying to make it look.
put dummies in the fucking bus.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to
Todd,
see it.
They do have them already. Heyo.
But really, why can't, or even cutouts at this point? I wouldn't be able to see what it is. Just cutouts of people inside of would let me say that there are more mutants.
Well, that's why that's why the assemblage of this footage is just so weird to me, because it doesn't really. It doesn't convey anything
No,
to
it
me.
doesn't.
It doesn't tell me anything other than there's a bunch of people walking beside a car outside a thing. It doesn't tell me where they're going. It doesn't tell me whether they're excited to get there. It doesn't tell me that they're desperate. It doesn't tell me that they're tired or they're thirsty. It doesn't tell me that they're an army.
They should be telling me also. Someone should say, I'm not trying. It's not a kid thing, but it's like, how much further? Tell me what. Just over this. Talk to the people that scouted it before. We need to go over this crest. Is it at the bottom of it? Yes, just at the bottom. Yes, something from
the captain telling Culp what's going
Yes.
on. Otherwise, it's just mutants on the march. But
Yep.
I mean, they're not. It's not telling me anymore. That maybe a vehicle broke down.
So after that, we jump into the woods, and this.
Oh, hell.
Okay, now this is.
Horrible dialogue.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, so the first thing I want to say that's horrible. This is shot on a set,
Oh yeah.
and then one of the worst things of it all, when it goes, we could discuss the whole set and what's said, but I got to jump to this. You got a set with a blue, skyish backdrop to it. And suddenly, when it cuts up to show me the broken branch, it's one of the shots from the nighttime. That is a nighttime sky behind it. It is black as black can be. They couldn't even shoot that same area during the day to make it match the blue sky. This is sloppy from that standpoint. But then we get, this is simply a camera pan across as somebody's walking in, and we arbitrarily hear these people, and I assume that's Virgil. It looks like Paul Williams in that, but they're basically talking about how he's doing. But that
I heard he lost his squirrel.
So this scene was supposed to be Virgil and Lisa and Caesar.
well, that is them.
Virgil and Lisa and Caesar, and the doctor was supposed to rush in and push them out of the way to talk about Cornelius being injured, right? And then there was the discovery of the branch, but McDonald was not necessarily supposed to be in the scene. I am so confused by what looks like Caesar and
Lisa
and
is so
Virgil
calm about-
walking away from this fire. This moment is not. The moment was supposed to be executed differently, but for some reason they gave us the scene of the three of them walking away talking, and they put voiceovers of different people because they realized they can't be those people. They didn't get. I don't know.
Because,
and then you have the one guy going, "I'm going to pretend to be a woman's voice for like a second," and you're like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
I heard about his squirrel going missing.
Was there in the original intent? Do Cornelius, I'm sorry, does Caesar and Lisa say anything? Because I could see if they wanted to go to the scene of the crime,
right?
And Caesar, especially being the king, being taken out, show me what it was, and then together they all see the campfire instead of this haphazard shit.
Caesar and Lisa. Caesar touches his son gently, tries to recover how badly he's hurt. Lisa goes, "He's hurt." Caesar horribly. The doctor touches Cornelius again. Oh, wait, it's
so this is not outside. This is supposed to be in their hut.
The top of the cut of the tree from which Cornelius has fallen is stark and broken against the moon, slight shifting.
Oh, it's
a medium shot of a group. The doctor touches Cornelius again with the gentle hands. Her voice is very soft amidst the murmur of the apes. I think you better carry him home. Then a tight shot of the limb. It's obvious it's been cut. It did not break. And then we jump to...
So the information that's there is essentially conveyed still. We find out that the the branch has been chopped, not broken.
Well,
they decided to move Lisa, Cornelius, and Virgil to the daytime.
Yeah.
And not the nighttime. They decided not to bring the doctor back in for some reason. But we do have McDonald. This really feels like just a rushed moment.
It does. Like they almost kind of figured out maybe they shot some of that and thought this doesn't work.
We got to do something real quick.
And that's why they'd go pick it up on a set, because we don't see another forest set. Those are all practical locations.
We don't even have Cornelius anymore. Cornelius is gone.
Right.
Like, why would... did they want to do an investigation and have Virgil, Lisa, and Caesar and McDonald realizing that something was awry in the scene? This does look like a shot they came back and did. It doesn't look like it was... whatever they originally shot didn't work, and they had to come back and fake this real fast.
I agree. And don't we feel like the campfire? If the campfire were not here, so here's the tree. If I'm holding up my hand, that campfire is literally right here below it.
Right.
We're that campfire over here, and this is occurring. Let's imagine a scene that has Caesar, Lisa, Virgil talking about what happened, and they're looking around, but McDonald wanders over far away, and he finds the burned out fire over here. Now that almost kind of works, and there's information, and then he can see these things, but
what information was he going to get out of the fire? Picking up a piece of wood. What was he actually going to find out?
I don't know, but I'm also going to say this. A lot of the times, even 6 hours later, you're still going to have smoldering embers, and you might just burn your damn hand picking it up.
He did feel at first to make sure that it wasn't hot. I mean, a fire is not truly out until you can put your hand into it.
But what... You're right. I did see that branch. It was night shot when they shot it. No, they had to put this together. Yeah. This clearly was not what they didn't. This is clearly not what they'd shot for this moment.
No.
And they, for some reason, that footage was not usable, and they had to come back and do this real quick, which is probably why we didn't get any tights on Virgil and Lisa and Caesar, because they were quick makeup applications to get the 3 actors there, and we had to zoom in and do McDonald because I'm just guessing. I'm totally guessing, but that would the only way that would make sense.
But